we're truly honored to have her come say a few words to us this afternoon to sort of like key to CORA's segment of the Soyinka90 season.
Literature, perhaps. Literature brought me here, but literature didn't really bring me here because the relationship with Professor Soyinka is beyond literature. And I think all of us in the room, we can identify as artists or at least sympathizers of the arts. Honored for you to say that CORA has benefited from Ugoma or Bloom or the interventions. My intervention has also been because of the likes of CORA. Facing your front fully, whatever it is you've decided. Is it poetry? And you're going to decide that you're going to die on the cross of your poetry. And if we look at the likes of Professor Soyinka and his ilk, they didn't know they were going to become stars. It's actually now in retrospect we can talk about how important that courage was. But none of them. Chinua Achebe was writing. J.P. Clark was doing. Wole Soyinka was doing. Everybody has been doing. This is the consistency that we can all attest to if you read any of these histories. So it's to encourage us all, like I have just been doing, and look at all the, things that Mr. Kyosho said about me in my own little 15 to 20 years, and I'm one of many.
Mental health is something that we Africans don't really take seriously, and we as artists, I'll encourage every artist out there to pick on the topic because you never know who needs to listen to your piece. All right. I walked into my room one day and saw an envelope. The window was locked. I guess it slid through the door. Flipped it open. Inside was a letter. It was from my friend. We flocked the same feather. What he wrote made me stop for a minute. Raw emotions, nothing close to gimmicks. He needed somewhere to vent out all his feelings. I wrote to you because you're the only one that listens. I wrote to you because you don't take my feelings for a joke. I'm drowning and I don't see reasons to stay afloat. He said, see, if you're reading this, it's too late. I don't know if it's destiny or I got caught up with fate. I got a couple siblings who couldn't relate, and every time I vent, they turn it to a debate. I told daddy I'm hurting. He said, Izzy, man up. Then he picked a wine and asked me to pass him a cup. Pure ignorance to the way I felt. All that mattered was his ego. He cared less about my health. Since he lost his job, he's been a shadow of himself. He buried his emotion, hung his feeling up the shelf. Stumbling and falling, I couldn't give up now. Maybe there's a chance to save him, maybe there's not. So I kept running till I reached the parking lot, banging on the door, and what I saw was AZ on the floor, stiff to the core. His blood was still warm, it was bleeding out his wrist. The cut was so deep it almost took off his fist. AZ died, and there's an AZ in all of us. Reminded me of my friend who got killed on the block. Who am I to blame, society or him? I wrote this piece for everyone that has an AZ within. Thank you.
Yeah, we are going directly to the museum due to mommy here who is going to be leaving very soon. So we are going to be going to the museum now for the opening museum where she's going to give us the speech for this opening museum. So
there's a special exhibition going on here. The exhibition is about the life story of Professor Oluwole Akinwande Soyinka. And if you can look around you, there are so many optics and pictures that tell the story of his life.
We should raise our glasses to toast to a Renaissance man, a man who is such a worthy muse that I believe he's considered one of the most photographed black individuals on the planet. I'm excited for you all to look through this collage of images capturing him from his early age up until his current life, one of Africa's best as he turns 90. As I said earlier, may we be 90, but maybe we be 90 with purpose, intent, and impact. Cheers, and I declare this exhibition open. Enjoy.
Ake is where the Alake of Abeokuta, that's Abeokuta is divided into, I think, about four. So yes, so there are 4 obas, So there's Alake, there's Bagura, there's I guess there was. And that's a lad, you not catch him wearing a suit right now, but that's how he grew up, This was him when he was pretty small. I don't know why this is in this group. This doesn't tie with the childhood. This is the last one. So okay. So the man graduated. I think this must have, because he looks too young here to have been a graduate of UI. So I'm imagining that this is when he was leaving Government College Ibadan, secondary school, yes. And, so if you read the Ibadan, the Penkelemies years, this story will be there. And I guess this is also, an undergraduate, this is a performance. If you read his books, you know that he loved the nightlife a lot. And he described a lot of outings in Mokola, in those places, teacher coming out of his class, having taught some students that he didn't particularly think were interested in the subject. Yes. This must be much later. This must be around the same time that he won the Nobel. That's the military dictator in the film. Conquest Harvest was released in 1960, I think, or 61 or something, But that was his film. He has produced 2 feature films, Conquest Harvest and Blues for the Prodigal.
Okay, in vain your bagels cast sham circled my feet. In 1 minute. Abeko, yes, Abeko. Alright, a round of applause for Group A. Group A. In silent spaces of the fire brush, mud regurgitated of the ants, break air and polling grain, the architect.
Is it that the full conversation?
No. Wama? It's a poem. What is your guys' poem? It's even dedicated to someone. Segi. Go on. Bonus mark, Group C?
Rain.
No, the celebrant. I won't want to mention his name. The four names. 2 attempts. Are we ready? 1, 2, go. Oluwale, Akiwande, Soyinka. The fourth. Bonus to anybody? Bawa today, yes! Alright, so Group C goes with 1, 2. Say the title of this poem. When season changes, it seems my age is past and all with it. No, that's not the title. No. Hey, do you have anyone bonus here for A? You actually get it correct. Title. Alright, the title is When Season Changes. A brief discussion, Ode Tunde Lateef, for a brief discussion on this excerpt titled Ibadan, Penkelemies years.
Ibadan, the years of the Penkelemies years. We'll see that the writer, which is Soyinka, and at the same time the speaker, because we have 2 speakers there, and from the countenance, from the way the second speaker is talking, you would know that, okay, this is Soyinka. No way, this is because where he said there is a place, he said the French barman collected a coin from him and he was still trying to keep the change. You see me like this and you still want to keep my change instead of you to give me the money back and let me go home for free. You get? So from there we know that, okay, this is the man. So from there we see, as he said, we see enforcing culture, enforcing language. The second speaker said something that, learning French is about learning their culture. So that takes us to the realm of, colonialism generally. Those people that were colonized by the French government, they more or less, do behave like the French, unlike the British. That's what they call policy of assimilation and policy of association. They act like them. They copy everything. They imitate them. So everything about the French is always about their colonies, unlike the British.
The second speaker is saying something about tipping, that the tipping is not actually something he likes. But then that does not mean that even in our society today, that we don't have that culture of tipping. We still have it. But there is something that I really find amazing about this particular excerpt. It's the fact that the Yoruba man there, asked his friend, can the French also speak Yoruba?
Bilingualism, and it's like a commingling of two languages, like learning two languages, and its application. So I see that from the discussion, the focus is more on preserving our own language and all. But let's be realistic. The world that we are today, you have to be a bilinguist for you to survive. Even as we are in even our own country, we are speaking Yoruba or Igbo or any of our native languages together with English, because we know that one cannot even survive with only one aspect of these languages.
Enforcing a kind of language because you barely need, and you becoming that language, because you say that the language actually holds this element of core. Is it the compilation that comes as one? And the other one, you were talking about tipping. Yes, and you made mention of it being that it is act of your free will why you acknowledge the fact, who is going to be Professor Wole speaking in that person point of view. So is the tipping, can I liken the tipping to mean bribery?
Bribery. But then we all know, don't let me assume that we all know. I want to believe that tipping can have two meanings. So first, it can stand for bribery. Second, it can stand for you just trying to commend the effort of someone.
The issue in the text is that of culture. Do you understand? And what the second speaker is saying is that for you to be able to survive in this French land, you must learn how to speak the language, because the language will take you to also understand the culture. And one of the cultures that they're mentioning is that of tipping. He went to buy milk. He went to buy milk, and his change, he didn't give him back. He said, that's automatic. He didn't even ask. He just kept the change, and he asked for his change. Do you understand? So when we talk about assimilation, we're talking about colonization in the sense of the French people.
From the performance to the museum back to this place, and it's not easy. Some of us have been here since yesterday, and I hope we can sleep today. All right. Moving on, we'll be expecting everybody next Saturday, where we'll be having the round-up, the last program for this event. Do not forget that we are live on Instagram and Google Meet. Please follow us, especially follow for updates. And don't forget to write your name down with the lady